We look into the question of why people are leaving California.
Packing their bags and leaving.
Wealthy Americans are leaving California in droves.
People are leaving California in droves, largely because public safety has collapsed. A lot of the women tell me they have to take off all their jewelry just to be able to go shopping, because otherwise they're going to get mugged.
Plain and simple, people can't afford to live here anymore. California's rent is 47% higher than the national average.
It was the cost of living and the politics, traffic, homelessness, crime.
So that begs the question, are you staying in California or are you moving?
Such a big news thing of not just California, but LA specifically is like a liberal hellhole, right? You can't even live there. So you don't think any of that's true?
What you say you can't? Who said that?
Yeah. Oh, right.
I want to know who's that name, that person who says that.
Yeah.
It's one thing to pay exorbitant taxes. It's another thing to pay exorbitant taxes to watch your city degrade into a hellhole. Our head of social media was threatened with a crossbow by a homeless man. I mean, I don't even know how that happens.
Saying LA is a hellhole, yeah, I think that's kind of dramatic. I don't think it's. I mean, there are a lot of homeless people, you know, but I think that's dramatic.
When in LA, that city has collapsed. That county's collapsed because he is not enforcing the law.
As a staunch Republican, what keeps you out in LA, right? Because this is like typically a pretty liberal spot, right? Is that a problem for you at all living out here, or do you think that does that bother you at all?
Everybody, hey, you want to talk, not yelling and whatever. Conversation. It's simple. They're two kind of people. You know, a negative attitude is a bad people.
Yeah.
It's a trouble. Positive attitude, they find a way how to fix the problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all based on your search engine, your algorithm, and what you want, and of course how much you make. So if you're looking for California as an impossible place to live, you're gonna find all the negatives. Violence, gangs, traffic, high prices. Absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
If you're looking for California as the most beautiful place to live, sunny weather, blue skies, great temperature, every day is nice, then you're gonna look for good things.
I think a lot of people do kind of just look at the bad and see what does suck about California. Yes, it's not perfect. There's some major issues with it. I think a lot of people that do have families or do need less taxes or do need they're maybe offended by all the liberal ideologies. I can understand that. Like, I've been there in ways, but I've just chosen to not throw out the baby with the bathwater and be able to enjoy it despite some of the weaknesses. No place is perfect. No place is perfect. So it's just like you have to choose your priorities, what's important to you, what your values are, and see what California has to offer, see some of the stuff that sucks about it, and just like weigh the pros and cons of that.
There's love and there's hate to it. You could be surrounded by crazy people and everybody's just loud, or you can just like and just be crazy and loud and kind of live it and just be free with it. Like, I feel like a lot of other places, they're not so relaxed. So like you just gotta be on track and like not stand out so much. And I feel like LA, everybody's standing out. Everybody's different. Could never be bored.
If you complete the time, I'll give you $100 on the spot. Best part about it is free to test, guys. You don't need to pay to test it out. Shirt with the beanie, with the white shirt, with the white pants, with the white shoes. Perfect, man.
How many people you got doing it today?
So today's been a very slow day, man. Maybe about 3.
3?
Yeah, it's not many.
Did even get it?
No, there's nobody that's gotten the challenge. I usually get about, it depends, a lot of close calls. 1 to 3 winners on a good day.
Oh, how long have you been out here doing this?
I've been out here for 27 years. I've been doing this for about 6, 7 years now, I'm not sure.
Why do you like doing it? Why have you been doing it for so long?
Well, I love people, I love entertaining, and I love putting up a good show. Yeah. So more than anything, this is a show.
Yeah.
So it's called the Hang on the Bar Challenge, and you become the star.
So how often are you out here?
I try to be out here on the weekends, but more off and on, depends, I do this and I also do henna tattoos. I actually lived out in the desert for a few years, and I came back to LA. And when I got back, it was like the best thing ever.
Yeah. So then what makes it worth it for you?
For me, it's this, man.
Yeah.
This, absolutely. I love it, everything.
People.
Love people. Love people, love options, love choices. I go to the beach, I go to Hollywood, I go clubbing, to a museum, I could go sightseeing, you name it. It's amazing, man. You got rich, you got poor, you got homeless, you got everything. You got mental illness, you got stability, you got everything that you could imagine, man. It's like a soup of everything.
There's so many creatives, you know, around LA. I'm a huge believer in like your environment shapes you. And I think for me, the environment like this, that just like brings you life and gives you energy and just helps you operate at a high frequency, like if you choose to, you know, depends on what corner you're looking at, you know. Being around people that are just like doing stuff outside the box and making things, I absolutely love that. I think humans were created to create. I think that fulfills like a lot of our meaning and our destiny. Yeah, I do a lot. I'm an entrepreneur like in about 3 or 4 different industries. So we're like developing a wearable right now as a trainer, talking to you and stuff. And then I flip homes as well. And then yeah, I do a little bit in like producing music, things like that for people. So yeah, just like singer-songwriter stuff. So yeah, just kind of stuff that I enjoy.
I am a painter of sorts. You know, this is all hand painted here. Of course, you see the metal work, and you know, got some hats, and I play around with some leather. But I mean, I'm an artist. You know, this is what I've been doing for 40 years. You know, at first it was, you know, always since very little drawing, sketching, you know, superheroes and all of that kind of stuff. You know, I've been in the hair industry. You know, I've been a master barber and things of that nature. My entire life I've been utilizing really my hands to create my income. And so I'm thankful for that. If you are indeed an artist, and you know, then you have the ability to move around different. So of course you can take advantage of travel much more, you know. So I travel all around, you know, as much as I can. But when I am in LA, I make sure I come to Venice Beach. You know, this is necessary. 20 plus years. Just coming here and being accepted and seeing other artists that were the same way, living off their gifts. Of course, we could say yes to going to get a job. Something in us allows us to have strength enough to believe in our gift every day. That's work. It's not easy, but it's rewarding, and it's rewarding each day. Yeah. Because you know that you said yes to yourself every day. Something like that, brother.
My line of work is stunts. Yeah, I'm a stunt man. I was doing stunts pretty much full time, and then the Screen Actors Guild went on like a strike. So I got this part-time job that's ended up like being something that's like turned me around. Like I'm a side job turned me into a teacher at Escalon High School. The expense is starting to get to me. Like I know it would be cheaper anywhere else, but like I don't know like how happy I would be like not waking up and like seeing the ocean. Sometimes I get a little depressed with things that are going on, and everything. This is kind of like my safe spot, like where I have my like first memories of the skateboard.
Yeah.
Like the water. My dad passed away, so just being out here kind of reminds me of like all the walks.
Yeah.
You would need to be pulling down nearly $111,000 a year in Los Angeles to feel financially comfortable. In San Francisco, you got to be making almost $120,000 to feel that way. Well, it's considerably down from the roughly $137,000 you would need in New York, but keep this in mind as well. The median income here in Los Angeles is closer to $76,000, which tells you that feeling comfortable financially is still a distant goal for many Angelinos.
Yeah. The expenses are terrible, man, but I think that I honestly don't even know how people do it. It makes no sense to me.
How do you do it? Is it a struggle?
I just got lucky, man. I got lucky. I got a very cheap place, and but it's always a struggle. It's always making ends meet, you know. And but besides that, I think it's just pretty much impossible for anybody that's normal.
Do you have kids or anything that you have to support that live here?
No. I have a daughter, but she's full grown and she takes care of herself, so there's nothing to do with me struggling. No, I'm free to do whatever I want. That's it right there.
The average rent in the US is around $1,700 for a 900 square foot apartment. In California, the average rent is almost double that at $2,500 for an apartment around the same size.
So right now I'm 5 minutes from the beach. I'm paying $1,000. So the rent is $2,000. I got a roommate. It's the best I could find. When I was working hard times, like I was in a hostel right over here with like 40 people. One of my goals is to buy my childhood house. I've seen it boarded up right here on Westminster. I always skate past it and dream about landing a big movie and like dropping a deposit and like stare at some kind of like keep it going.
I pay base rent's $19.17 for the room I pay for.
Okay.
It's a good place, so but I'm willing to pay for it.
And that's for your room,
That's
so
for
it's a larger.
my share, yeah.
Gotcha.
It's
okay.
3 bed, 2 baths. And well, I live like 2 blocks away. I live with 2 roommates.
Okay, that actually sounds probably pretty reasonable for like a 3-bedroom blocks away from the beach,
Yes,
Santa Monica.
It's like market price, yeah, but it's expensive, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to pay for it. I mean, I come here every day.
I have a bit of a more expensive rent, but me and my wife actually are able to split it. So I pay about $4,000 a month in rent, but I feel extremely positive about the living situation with the amenities and the location that we're in. We're about 5 minutes from the beach. We have like cliffs. The location is unbelievable, walkable to like 20 restaurants. If I bought a house, I would not be able to be that close at my income level. Sure. So for me, I make just over 6 figures on average, and then so does my wife. So, you know, I know a lot of people aren't quite there, but I do think that if you can find, whether it's a family member or a friend, you could get into something for 2-3K a month. You know, I think it's possible for a good amount of people to do that with a 40K salary, something like that, and then you could split something and get $3,000, $3,500 here, or more south near San Diego or whatever, and you're gonna have a pretty great living situation. Even though maybe right now it's tough for most people to afford a home unless you want to move to the Midwest.
Yeah, right.
People who live in Los Angeles especially, just so you know, right today, you could go to Dockweiler RV Park, which how much more luxurious is closer to the water than these are. How much you think these are? So for about $1,500, you could live at the water at Dockweiler and have all kind of amenities that come with being there, and your RV payment might be $300, $400. Yeah. So I'm saying for let's say $2,000, you can live on the water tomorrow in Los Angeles and not try to find something you don't like for $3,500.
So-called van lords are renting out RVs to people who are now using them as their permanent residence.
I only paid $400 a month because it was a friend of a friend. You know, a lot of people pay a lot more than that. And I have an income. I just can't afford rent.
You have an income?
Yeah, I work full time.
We should never, ever have a homeless in our country. 3 types of homeless. Number 1, mental problem. That's the big one. Number 2, people, the young people, die of fentanyl. That's the big one. That's what 2. The 3 one, the people like me, okay? We had to find some place to find. That's why I'm suing the LA government.
Okay, so right now you're currently homeless?
Yes, almost 4 months. Because they took my property, because you should not take my property. Because that's violation of the 14th Amendment or the 5th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Should not take private property.
How does they take your property?
The parking fraud. The parking fraud.
Some of the unhoused who have been living in these mostly derelict RVs were moved to temporary shelter. The RVs towed away.
We're looking for permanent, real solutions, not merely, parking signs that simply move people from the north side of the street to the south side of the street.
Councilmember Park says there's a moratorium on towing these types of RVs because of a pending lawsuit. Even the threat of doing so gets divisive quickly for fears of criminalizing homelessness. So she's taking a different approach.
We're working to change our municipal code to cover the sale and leasing of RVs on our public streets.
I was in the party scene, you know what I mean? And that's the reason why I came to California, if I'm being honest. It's more of a challenge to not just understand myself and deeper level, but other people. Because in California, you have a variety of people in different mindset, and I'm trying to understand and connect with people on a deeper level. I'm over a year and 3 months sober now from crystal meth and all those things. You know what I mean? And I did it out here. You know what I mean? I did it here in California. That's what I'm saying. California challenged me to better myself. You know what I mean? Like, it challenged me to open up myself. That's like, California was house bar for me. You know what I mean?
California have everything. If you would like to go to snow, 2.5 hours. Here, we have beach. Yeah. Kansas City?
Yeah. So you mostly stay here and have loved staying here your whole life because of the things, the
weather,
land.
everything. California is beautiful. From San Diego to San Francisco.
So if you want to live in LA, you can make it 100%. You just gotta want to do it. Now, of course, if you have a big family, you have a low-paying job, and you already someplace, it pretty much becomes impossible to come over here. Here's the best part about Venice Beach right there, man.
I think that it is a natural, innate desire for any human being to know what it is like to wake up each day and perhaps know what it will happen as a result of being able to be available to what life has to give to them, as opposed to a pre-made schedule, for instance, that says, you know, this is what's necessary. However, I think there's a part of us that may be getting lost, that of course has the desire to enjoy a natural life because it is a natural human being. So a part of it would love to be as natural as it can be. So when you see them, they are the last of the ones trying to hold on to freedom. How you guys? Welcome, welcome. The environmental reality of being here, I mean, I love the beach. I love the ocean. I love the, I love the mountains. I love all of these things. I love palm trees. And so this is a perfect backdrop for myself. This is a perfect backdrop for whatever it is I desire to create. This is the inspiration. Well, that's great. I mean, for me, someone else might like to be in the middle of what do you call it, Manhattan. That may give them their, yeah. But for me, oh man, if I can, this is it.